unlock this door with the key of imagination.
I have to put this in a cabinet because I'm tired of doing this. That's not pinball. I mean, it is pinball, but it's not. This deserves a real cabinet. That's what I said. So I started. This is what I did. I'm going to go quickly because I want to make sure we have time for questions. Okay, so I had some PC equipment. I actually went and bought one. I was getting this. This is how many frames per second. This is what kills you in future pinball. 14 out of 14, well, 14 was the peak. 14 frames a second. That's awful. That's when you flip and the ball's already drained. So I put in a real video card, and I was 118 frames a second there. That's a lot. I mean, so it's fluid. It's very smooth. Then I actually connected it to some better equipment there with a better monitor, a 22-inch monitor turned vertically, laying down. Use this old CRT there to the right to display the back glass. So now I'm using 2 displays. It's not that hard, really, though. I mean, any kid that's 12 years old or older can help you do this. And here's the other thing too. I wanted to pick. I wanted to use equipment that I could bail on this project, and I could actually use in my life. So I got a PC that I could give to my wife, or I could use it in my shop. I got a 22-inch widescreen monitor, which would be a welcome upgrade, but it was all working so well I didn't need to do that. I had a Dirty Harry. I took some flack over this in some forums. Make it very clear, this was a water-damaged, re-imported Dirty Harry. It's happier now. So what I did was, based upon the LCD size, I began to chop this cabinet down because, again, it was water-damaged. And I salvaged everything. I took the side rails off of it, the hinges for the head, I mean, everything, all the guts out of it. I mean, I was kind of like Dr. Scott, man. Everything was still, I probably still have sawdust there from the job. And I had a number of woodshop tools, so I kind of do that as a hobby too. So
What about Elvira?
Oh, Elvira was just an inspiration. I'll tell you what. Whenever you're trying to design this thing, now you're a cabinet designer. You're kind of like Dennis Nordman's first gig. So you're thinking, do I want to reinvent the wheel, or do I want to copy something that's good? And I had an Elvira that was close to me, Elvira the Party Monster. And actually, I didn't copy its head so much because it's a little different. But yeah, I mean, it was an inspiration for measuring sort of the scale of things. Any pinball machine would do, by the way, just to get your scope down, I think. So I really packed this cabinet tight. If you take a look at that computer. There's no room. That's in that red box there in the front. That's an audio amplifier that's a Walmart special. That's like $45. Again, I'm going to recycle everything. If this thing sucks, then what do I got? Nothing much really. The audio amp, I can give it to the kid down the road, in his car. Cooling was important. A secondary power supply to fire that thing. It was easy. Just use a computer power supply. What you see right there is just what my bench supply use in my electronics bench. But I actually put a PC power supply there. There's tricks to make all this stuff happen with very little money. Preserving the traditional head design. The back glass fits, I'd say traditional because speakers are on the bottom. So it's sort of traditional. How about those speakers, huh? They came out of a Mustang. Again, I mean, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to go out and order some special speakers. They sound great, by the way.
Was it a water damage Mustang?
No, sir. No, it was a trade-in. I traded it in. I took the speakers out, put the originals back in. Yeah, I'm just going to keep going because I want to make sure I cover it. This little device is fantastic. I love it. You guys at Domain, are you Ultimark fans? What do you think, Ultimark or Groovy Game Gear? Which is your favorite?
Ultimark.
For this application specifically, I like Ultimark a lot. What it does is it just allows you to really quickly assign your keystrokes. Every one of these things, when you go to this cabinet, you touch the flipper buttons, you restart button, whatever, those are keys. And so this little board, it helps you really handle that issue. It's such a fast way and easy to program to make this work. I was having so much fun with this thing. I got to tell you a quick story. I got to make it super quick because I promised. Steve Rothschild, you guys know who I'm talking about? He's a Silverball Podcast buddy of mine. I really want to surprise him with this thing. This was so cool. I'm playing a game, a couple of these games by Blind Mankind Pinball. Let's give you the titles: Three Angels and Dead Hunters. Three Angels and Dead Hunters. Both of these games are loaded with beautiful graphics. They're very, very well thought out designs, and they have great audio. And you saw the car amplifier, you saw these 6x9 speakers. I had it turned up pretty loud. And I started the game and I ran off to go get some tools out of another part of the building. And what I didn't realize is that when that game loads up, it's real quiet at first. It uses like a movie soundtrack dynamic range, which is very, very quiet and then very, very loud. It's a horror themed game. It's scary. Is it scary? Well, it scared me. It's very late at night. I tend to work between 10 and 2 in the morning a lot of times out in my shop. And I hear this thing wake up. And I hear like the sound of bones cracking and a woman screaming, and it sounds like flesh is getting ripped open. And I go back to my shop, and there's this game. There you go. See the bottom picture? No backglass in it there. Actually, the top picture is more like what it was like when I had this story to tell me. And it really creeped me out because this game was just fired up and it's all this scary sounds. And it's dark and it's late. So I start to play the game though. And in this particular system that I made, it wasn't really easy to turn the volume up or down. Once you had it set, that's really where it was. And I thought, well, I'll plunge the ball and make sure it's behaving and playing like it should. And then I'll get out, go back to Windows and turn the volume down. But I really got into the game. I was really having one of those connection moments that I just talked about earlier. I was really, really connecting with this game. To the point to where I wanted to figure out the rules a little deeper. There's this demon ball, black ball that comes out. And you have to send it to the blood extractor, I think is the process to capture this demon. I mean, it's really, and the storyline is so thought out, it's amazing. So as I'm playing the game, I look at the clock. You ever have those moments where it's been an hour, but you think it's been 5 minutes? And I realize I need to go in. So I shut everything down, and I turn out the lights. It's one of those, like at my shop, you turn out the lights, and it could be like a 30-foot walk in the dark, to get to the door. And then you go through another. I got 3 rooms in there.